What's up, guys? Welcome back to another stream. We are continuing on with building a weather app from scratch using Next.js and React. So I'm going to give a few moments for people to join in. While that happens, I'm going to set up here my comments, which unfortunately always seems to be an issue. I'm not exactly sure why, but let me just do it this way. Put it here, and then there we go. I have comments here, which is great. And then, as always, I need to spend a couple of seconds just to put this on TikTok as well, because we want to also give the TikTok viewers a piece of the pie, a piece of the... Hold on. Education. Where's education? There we go. Go live. Are we live? We are live, and then I need to refresh. And then maybe go to my channel. Building an app. There we go. And then give it a moment, guys. Give it a moment. There we go. Oh man, this computer is extremely slow, and it's still like loading the video player on YouTube. Essentially, if you don't know, I am restreaming the YouTube stream on TikTok using a different computer because why not? There you go. I think we are good. We are good to go. Cool. One last order of business, and that is to copy the link of the live and then post it on the Discord and announce. So event details, edit event, and then it's gonna be here. Boom, boom, save event. And then I'm going to announce everyone. And then I'm gonna do my signature. Abel, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here, man. Send now. Boom. We're good to go. Discord is posted, tagged everyone. Let's go. All right, cool. We're on TikTok. Yo, it's 4 a.m. in New Zealand on TikTok. Nice. Damn. Yeah, it is quite late, huh? Glad to have you here, man. Hope you can stay for a bit. If not, go to sleep. That's fine. It's 4 a.m. It's quite late. Me. Hey. Hey, me. What's up? iCoder Dev. What's up, man? I see you in the comments on YouTube. I see that you enjoy the videos. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for the work that you put in. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching, and I really hope that it's useful for you. So much appreciated. Loved your video on use reducer. Really helpful on TikTok. Thanks, man. Good. I'm glad that you found it useful. There's more coming, and if you need help on other hooks and whatnot, feel free to check out the other videos. There's a ton of value in all of those. Just got the notification from Discord. Great. So notifications work. Let's go, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited. All right. So it's been like 2 weeks since the last live stream. I couldn't make it last week, and I think from now on I'm gonna do it like once every 2 weeks. I think it just makes more sense with my schedule, with like all of the things that I'm doing. But last week, where we were dealing with like these progress bars here, right? We essentially were trying to mimic, let me see if I can pull it up again, iPhone weather app, and then just go to like images or something, and yes, I think if I can open this one, yeah. So this is what we were essentially trying to do, right? We were trying to sort of, let me just maybe zoom out a little bit. We were trying to essentially recreate these progress bars right here, right? And the peculiar thing with this is that if you look at our application and what we have done is we've essentially like, I think it's hard coded now to a certain percentage. I think we were having troubles with like Tailwind and whatnot. So I think it's like hard coded to a certain percentage. But what we were doing is we were not sure like, what are the bounds here, right? Like you have like the edge here and then the edge here, like what are the bounds? Because if you look at this weather app right here, right? It looks like the bounds are essentially the highest weather of the forecast. So in this case, it's the 10-day forecast. So it looks like the bounds are the highest temperature in those forecasts. That's the gray kind of bounds. And then what's highlighted, the progress that is highlighted in color, is actually the temperature, the high and the low of that specific day, right? So if your day is actually the warmest days in that forecast, in the 10-day forecast, for example, then you should be here at the edge. If tomorrow, for example, it's 5 degrees warmer, then you shouldn't be at the edge. You should maybe be somewhere like this, right? So that's what we kind of realized at the end of the last stream, and that's where we left off. And now I want to start again and implement that. And then, actually, honestly, I kind of forgot about this part because it's been so long since the last stream. But what I initially wanted to do for this stream is actually plug in the API. Right? We might get to that, we might not, depending on how the progress thing goes, but I want to get this progress right so that when we plug in our API, it's going to automatically work and it's going to just be really beautiful and super satisfying. So that's the plan for today, starting with that, and then we'll see how it goes. I also enjoy your videos. You will get there, buddy. Dude, thanks a lot. That means a lot. Honestly, I'm really enjoying the process, and I'm trying to enjoy the process a lot more. And the kind of success, if you will, or like the viewers that I've managed to acquire so far is really good, and I'm really proud of this. So I want to keep that going. And my priority right now is just to make better content over anything else. So I'm actually focusing on the content specifically, maybe not upload, like stress myself uploading, but really make sure that the videos are good. So that's the plan. Hello from Taiwan. Again, Isari, good to see you again, man. Thank you for being here. Blackfort Music, Mr. Nick. Good to see you here. Good to see you here, man. Good to see people here. Let's go. We have 10 people watching on YouTube. We have 1 person watching on TikTok, which is probably me, but it is what it is. Cool. So let's begin, right? So this is what we have here. Let's look now at the code for this, which is going to be in VS Code, obviously, and we are going to go to, what is it? This is the homepage, right? And then we're dealing with this, I think it's daily forecast, right? So components, daily forecast, there we go. So that's what we're working with. We essentially, right, we need this progress here, right? We were dealing with this progress bar here that we wanted to, we had like this Tailwind error where we realized that you couldn't do string interpolation inside of Tailwind, so that kind of affected us a bit. It is fine, that's why we hard-coded this to with a 50%. So now we want to think, how would we achieve this thing from the weather app in iPhone, right? So we need, first of all, we need to know the highest temperature of the 10-day forecast. So that we need to know. We also need to know the lowest temperature of the 10-day forecast as well, right? Because we're going to use that as kind of the, in the progress bar here, which we will also have to update a little bit. We will use that to tell it, okay, this progress bar can have, like, this is the max, this is the min, and these are the values within that max and min. Right, that's the way I'm thinking about it. And it's quite unfortunate that this, what was it, ChatCN, this library that we're using, doesn't support this. Their progress is based off of, what is it? It's based off of Radix UX. And Radix UX, the, what is it called? The, where can I search? Really, there's no like obvious way to search. Oh my God. Radix UX, progress. This progress only supports one value, right? And I'm not sure, let's see, API reference. Does it support max? It does support a max, but it doesn't support the minimum because this was built with one value in mind. So we're going to have to change that. That's going to be cool. We're going to have to dig into, I mean, not in the source code, in our component, because we own our component. That's the whole point of Radix UX. But we're going to have to make some changes there to kind of figure out how to do it. Honestly, I'm not sure how we're going to do it. We're going to have to figure this out together. So let's go. Let's do it. Seldom. Sorry if it's a common question, but what's the best resource to learn React? You're looking at it. No, no, seriously, right? Like the videos that I have so far, they're great. I have videos on like a lot of the hooks things. and stuff about React in long form and short form. However, I do not have a full-on course that's going to take you from zero to hero in React. I'm planning to do that a little bit later. That's not my focus right now. So until that happens, watch what you get, take what you can get from me, right? Join the Discord. There's a ton of value going on there every single day, and you also have access to me where you can literally ask your questions to me, man. Like, that's invaluable. Like, I have enough time to dedicate to that I will answer your question usually within a day, and then if you catch me in a moment where I'm like there, like I can live help you, right? So that's like a thing. So that would be my #1 resource. Then watch my tutorials, and then if you need like a proper full-on guide, I would suggest you go to YouTube or Google or wherever you find your tutorials from. Your videos are so good, Edgar. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. I coded dev. I wish I could stay, but I'm still following from #2 live video. I hope to catch up. Dude, do that. Live #2 is useful for live #3, and live #1 is useful for live #2. So do that. Respect. No worries. That's fine. Bogdan. Yo. What's up, Bogdan? Good to see you, man. Good to see everyone here. I'm super excited. Batman on TikTok. The API is free, isn't it? The one that I have gotten is free. They have like a free tier. You can get like free APIs as well. I just chose that one because the response that it gave me was like the one that I thought could fit the best. That one is eventually paid, but the way we're going to design this is so that if we want to change the API later on, we're going to be able to easily do it and still have our application working as if nothing happened. We're going to build like the architecture in place to allow us to do that. You know Blackfort, you know I'm the mod Nick, right? Of course I know, dude. Dude, of course I know. Like, I know you're Nick, I know Blackfort, I know that's your company, I know that you work with Abel on this. Like, I reviewed your code as well. Like, duh. How can you ask that, man? Of course I know. Cool. All right, so first thing, what I want to do is I have no idea how we're going to achieve this, but we said that we need to get the max and the min. So literally the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this progress props here and literally add a max and a min. So let's do max, max number, right? And then I'll always do it like this, min number, right? So we have a min and a max, and these would be optionals because we are going to default them to 0 and 100, I believe, because I think that's the default in Radix UI. I think that's it. So we're going to revisit this in a later. And then value is going to be, okay, I'm thinking about this. We're like brainstorming right now. So let's just try this. Value is going to be either a number, because you want to be able to use this as 1 or as 2. So we can go 2 ways here. We can either create a new component that is multiple progress, right? Or we could extend this component and add multiple functionality. I think it's worth it to extend this one, but if we're wrong along the way, we're going to make the changes. Great, Bogdan. Looking forward to it as well, man. Super excited. There we go. Yo, we have people watching, man. We have 9 people on YouTube and 9 people on TikTok. That's a record. Great. Cool. So value is going to be number or an array of numbers, right? We're going to have this taken either a number or an array of number. And that is going to determine what happens in this progress thing. If you give an array of numbers, we're going to assume that you want 2 values. And we're going to have to find a way to make sure that we ignore if you give an array of like 5 values or something. And then if you give just a number, we're going to proceed as usual and just do a number, right? So we're going to do that. And then how do we do this, right? So we have our progress primitive here, which is this box here, right? If I do BG, like BG red 500, is that gonna do something? No. Are we? Because I have BG secondary. Fair enough. If I do this, yeah, okay. So that is that bar, right? So that is that bar. So that bar has to be the max and the minimum. So we have to keep that in mind. I'm gonna revert this here. You know what? Let's not stress ourselves. Let's go to Mr. ChatGPT. So chat.openai.com. Please, can I log in with this and not have, continue with Google, not have anything leak? No, that's fine. That's fine. Good, good. Nothing leaked. Cool. Pasha Pavlik on TikTok. Hello, bro. I have a problem with my code. I uploaded everything to the hosting, but it takes a long time to upload everything in different ways. How do I fix an upload? Dude, post it on the Discord, man. I will get to it then because it's not the right time for that, but post it in the Discord. Discord's in, so you're on TikTok, Discord's in my bio. Go there, click it, and join. Cool. So I'm going to paste ChatGPT our thing, and then I'm just going to say, make this also work for value being on, let me just zoom in maybe, an array of 2 values with a max and a min. Let's see what Mr. GPT tells us and how we can, what solution does he give? Okay. To modify the provided code to handle an array of 2 values for the value prop representing, no, you misunderstood. No, you misunderstood. No, okay. So no. I had to give it more detail. Sorry. The values are not the min and max. I want this to be a progress bar where the bounds are the min and max, and the progress within can either be as normal, which means a value of type number, or if it's an array of values, make the progress bar from min to the smallest number in the array and max to the end, what's it called? And the second element in the array to the max. Assume only two values in the array. So let's clarify this to ChatGPT. Pasha, can you check? Yes, I will, but not now. Like after the stream. Cool. So let's see what does Mr. GPT give us. So it's gonna do min and max, right? Oh, so we already added this, so that's fine. Min is gonna be 0, max is gonna be 100. That's exactly what we said. Normalized value, array.isArray value is gonna be value. Okay, so if we give an array as value to this component, it's going to return that value. If not, it's going to return the, oh man, okay. It's gonna return an array of 2 values, which is value and value. I'm not sure about this, okay? Min value, max value, sure. And then progress value. Honestly, guys, let's just copy this, paste this, and then there's no errors, which is a good sign. And then if I give, let's just hard code this to, let's say 40, 60, and then min is gonna be, no, that's fine. Min is already 0, max is already 100. What happens? Did it work? No, I did not. Did it work? 20 and 80? No way. No way, man. Did ChatGPT just solve this thing for us completely? No way, man. What if I do something like 60 and 80? Ah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Aha, here's what it's doing. Okay, so I thought it would work. It's halfway there, which is really impressive for like ChatGPT. It's halfway there. It's not fully the way there. So look, you give it something even, right? That's like even on both sides of the middle, right? So let's say if you do 20 and then 80, right? 20 is 20 away from 0, right? So it's 20 from that edge, and then 80 is 20 away from 100. If you do that, it's fine, right? You have 20 here and then 20 here, which is great. If you do like whatever, 40 and then 60, which is a bit thinner, it's going to do it perfectly. That's fine, which is why I thought that this would actually work. But if you do it unevenly, like I did, 50 and then 80, so that 50 is 50 from the left and 80 is 20 from the left, it still centers it, yet it takes the difference between the two as its size. Which, you know, fair enough, I did not give this instruction to ChatGPT that it should do this, so it has no way of knowing. So actually, it did the thing that it was supposed to do, which is really great. So good job. Dorian Tech, on TikTok, how often do you do these lives? Once every 2 weeks for now. I had a phase where I did them once every week, but I think once every 2 weeks. Or if I spontaneously want to do one, I will do one. Cool. So then what we need to do is essentially go back to Mr. GPT and just tell him. I always like to, I think of GPT as like a person. That's also why I say Mr. GPT, because it's not a person, I know, but it feels like a person. So I'll say, great, good, thanks. That worked, you know, put some exclamation points, put some like happiness into it. Great. Cool. Only thing is that, so basically I'm going to tell them that, yo, you should fix the thing that it shouldn't be centered. You should account for the distance between the edges. The progress bar now, can you see this? Can I make this slightly so that you can actually see what I'm typing for now? Yeah, that's fine. Maybe zoom in slightly. The only thing is that the progress bar is always centered in the, just centered. I want it to account for the distance between the min and the smaller number in the array and the max and the bigger number in the array, right? And then I'm going to also add a little bit more description. Basically, if min is 0 and max is 100 and the values are 20, no, let's do 50 and 80, then the progress bar needs to be slightly shifted to the right to account for 80 being closer to the max and 50 being further from the min. Let's see what it does with that information. Extrom, ChatGPT is so bad. No, it's not, man. Like, it just fixed our thing for us and it did exactly what we asked it to, and you just have to give it good prompts, right? That's the whole strategy of like giving it good prompts and understanding how it works and how you can get it to work to do the thing that you want it to do. So let's now see with these instructions what it does. I'm very curious what's happened. I'm just going to straight up copy this code, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, we're going to either reprompt it or even try to figure out if we can do this ourselves. But yeah, ChatGPT, dude, saves a lot of time, man. When you need to think of like problems like this to solve, right? Like, ooh, already it's doing some interesting things here with the style. When you need to like figure out some ways to solve a certain problem and you don't want to deploy the mind effort to do it, this is a great way to do it, right? It would have taken me a lot longer to kind of think this through. So yeah, again, copy this whole thing, go back to VS Code, paste this whole thing. Ooh, I don't like that we have an error. Oh, no, that's fine. That's my linter. That's my ESLint. Okay, great. Let's see what it does. Did it mess up something? Did we have something before? I think it messed up the export. Did it? Export progress? No. No. Why? What's wrong? There's no errors in my code. Like, what's wrong? Element type is invalid. Expected a string for built-in components or a class function for composite components, but got undefined. You likely forgot to export your component. Did I? I didn't. So we're importing. What? Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, that's a mistake. I pasted it in the wrong file. Whoops. Whoops. That's embarrassing. Okay, there we go. Yo, it worked. No way, it worked. Wow, I love ChatGPT, man. Okay, let's see if we do it the other way. Let's see if we do 20 and then 60, right? No. Why? This looks so promising. If you do 20, 80, that should be... Again, man, it took the exact instructions that we gave it. I said, make it so that, what did I say? I said, make it so that, yeah, basically if the minimum is 0 and the max is 100, then the progress bar needs to be slightly shifted to the right to account for that. It literally took that. It said, okay, you want it to the right, I'm going to put it to the right, but it did it regardless of what I do. So it works in one way, but it doesn't work in the other way. So we just need to tell it to correct it. What you did only accounts for the right. I also need it to align more to the left when the min is closer to when the smallest value is closer to the min. That's it. Come on, ChatGPT. Third time is the charm. Can you do it? Can you do it? Let's go. Question: Is DevOps a part of full stack? I see on the roadmap site it's included in full stack curriculum. To some degree, yes. Right, full stack means across the board. So from essentially nothing, not one line of code, to the application being deployed somewhere and like actually being in production, right? So that's kind of full stack. It is debatable how much of DevOps is in full stack, because you usually will have a full stack position, a person that is full stack, and then you'll have a DevOps person. But you can also have the full stack developer who's also the DevOps person, right? So it's a little bit, it's not 100% like a clear line. But yeah, you should only look into DevOps if you plan to go that route, which is usually if you're more on the backend side of things, right? Because that's like deploying your server, deploying that. If you're more focused on React with the front end side of things, like if you're doing React Native or something, it's not that necessary. But if you are especially going into like server components and whatnot, then I think it makes sense to look into it, but I wouldn't spend as much time on it as I would learning actual development, right? Unless you want to become a DevOps person, where you should spend more of your time doing DevOps and less of your time on development side. Bonus points regardless, if you're going into DevOps or if you're going into development, you get bonus points if you know a bit of both, right? If you're an expert in programming and coding, full stack, and you also know DevOps, you're more valuable than if you didn't. And likewise, if you know DevOps, but you also know code, you're more valuable than if you wouldn't. Hope that answers your question. Bogdan, do 2030. Yeah, I'll try it in just a moment. Yes. Adam Fadrian, why don't you have ChatGPT 4, bro? Honestly, I didn't pay for the thing. What's it called? I can't choose. I don't have Plus. I had it at one point, then I just didn't use ChatGPT enough to like for it to warrant, so I didn't do it. So that's why I don't have ChatGPT 4. This is fine for my use cases. I actually don't use ChatGPT all that much. I use it explicitly when I need to figure out like a problem like this. That's kind of my goal. Nick, obviously. It is a good stream so far, but I need to go to my grandparents. Cool, man. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your time with your grandparents, man. Cool. Oh my god, is it really? No, can I not do this? No. Oh, I can just copy. Man, why am I struggling? Okay, let's go back here. Let's paste this. Let's see what happens. Let's do this. ChatGPT. Oh, did it work? Did it work? Okay, so that's promising, right? So 2060, is that what I want? Yes. What if I do 8090? Does that not look like what we want? What if I do now, like Bogdan said, where is it? 2030. Let's do 2030. 2030. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? Dude, ChatGPT, man, is the best. It just needs a little bit of guidance. If you tell it and you iterate over it, it gets you exactly what you want. Great, we got it. Cool. Kirito, thank you. I'm still in the learning phase, still at front end, but I'll trust the process, as you should. Trust the process. If you have like someone that you trust that's laid out that process for you, absolutely go that route, follow it. You cannot go wrong. You can only go wrong if you pick the wrong person or course or whatever to follow. So just make sure that you're following the right course. Adam, you know what? I'm still waiting for the Redux, brother. Yeah, it's coming, man. I have a backlog of videos, and I will get to it. There's a ton of things people are requesting. I'm waiting for people to kind of request more things so that I know, like, so that I know kind of what's in demand or not. But yes, Redux has been recommended quite a bit, which is it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. To be honest, I also have to like brush up a bit my skills on Redux because I haven't used it in a little bit, and I know there's like some updates in how you use it with like Redux toolkit and whatnot. So I just need to like find the time to brush up on that and then do it. Anyways, great. So we have our thing that works. Phenomenal. So let's just first of all look at what ChatGPT did to like try to understand. Let's not blindly paste code in our thing. So it did the min and the max. That's what we did. And then the value is going to be of a number and of an array. We actually have to check if this still works with just a value, because I have a feeling it doesn't. So then it's going to do the normalized value, which is the same as before. So if you provide an array, it's going to just return that array. If not, it's going to create an array of value and value. So that I'm very curious about what that's going to happen. Then value A, value B. So it's separating the array. That's fine. Minimum value is yes. It's doing the maximum value. Then the progress value is the maximum value minus the minimum value, right? Divided by the maximum and the min times 100. That's fine. Progress offset is, that's fine. Let's remove that comment because we don't need it. Right? So see, this is why I use ChatGPT. I didn't want to have to think about these maths. Like the math involved in doing this, like I'm just not down. Like if I can get an AI to do it, I will do it. It's just, yeah. Like I would have made a mistake. Like I think we made a mistake in the last stream where I was like calculating the wrong average in some way. And it was just like, let ChatGPT do its thing, do the effort, and then let me take over the things that a human can do better. So then it uses that, and then it uses margin left and then the width to accomplish that. Cool. Let's try now. What if I do 20? What happens? Aha, it doesn't work, right? I knew it. It doesn't work. I knew it. Okay. So maybe one last thing with ChatGPT. This now no longer works with just one value. Can you make it work with providing one value? If that is the case, then the bar should start from the min until the value. And it should obviously work and actually visually show the progress. Let's see what it does now. Are there that many part-time jobs out there, or usually companies prefer a full-time developer? It really depends on the company. I know a decent amount of part-time opportunities. Those are usually like maybe students or people that are learning or maybe transitioning into it. I haven't seen that many part-time, like if you're joining a company, part-time like proper developer, although there are, and it really depends how you structure it. Maybe like your idea of a part-time is like working like a reduced workload of like 32 hours or like whatever, 24 hours a week. That might happen. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think you should think that it's impossible, but just look for it and try to find one. But ideally you would want to go to like full-time, because the value of a company is in getting you to work full-time, because that's how you can be more productive. So usually they'll prefer that. But if you can find a company that wants to like have some student that wants to have some work that is not necessarily maybe crucial, like time crucial, right? Because also that's the thing. If you work part-time, you may take on a ticket or something, an issue, whatever. And just because you're working part-time, you're working less, it takes longer to accomplish that. And if the project needs, like, is time sensitive, if there's deadlines and whatnot, that may not be ideal. So it really depends on the project. Not impossible, but there's more full-time than part-time from what I've seen. Alexander, let's go. Let's go, dude. Good. Adam Fadrian, yes, I'll wait, bro, because your explanation is the best. Thank you, man. I can't tell you how much this means to me, like that you say that the explanation is good, because it's one thing to make videos, have editing and whatnot, but it's at the end of the day, it's code, it's React, and my goal is that you understand. So if you can understand the actual thing that I'm teaching, then that makes the world for me. So I'm super excited. Alexander, I'm not a math type person. I'm really not, man. Like I did calculus, I did linear algebra. Like if I really wanted to, I could, and I have like an interest in these things, but like I'm not a math person, and if I certainly don't like to do math in code, so if I can avoid it, I will. And that's also one reason why I dislike technical coding interviews that have you solve like an algorithm, because that's like math based, and it's like rare cases where you will have to do that, right? It's rare cases, I think, where you will have to do that. So I feel you. Bogdan, it depends on the company. If you have to maintain software without implementing much new soft, then it's definitely possible. Yeah, maintenance, bug fixes, all of that are things that you can do as someone that's working part-time. I'm doing free code camp, Odin project, and Udemy, 0 to mastery, YouTube when I'm stuck. Dude, that sounds great. Honestly, it sounds great. Keep it up. Sounds like a great option. Cool. So let's copy this code. I have a feeling just by looking at this code, it's not gonna break. It's gonna break, sorry. So I don't have high hopes for it, but let's see. So, right, this works now with one value. This works. It's actually not even using the start value, so that's that. So that works. If I do 20, is it gonna work? It's gonna work, great. What if I now do an array of 20 and 80? Let's start with the easy case. It lost it, man. It lost it, no. Okay, you know what? I think that's GPT's limit right now. I think we've reached it, and I will just rather actually use the code that I had before and maybe like update it myself, because I think it would now take more time to instruct the GPT on how to do it than actually doing it ourselves, I think, right? So actually I'm thinking now this might be worth it to do it as a whole separate component, right? So if I can do new file. No, let's try first. Let's see how hard it is and how difficult it would be to do it by one, right? So normalized value, right? So if the array so if it's an array, if value is an array, you're going to give the array. Otherwise, you're going to give value, right? And then you're doing all of this computation with that, and then you're so let me see something. Let me see the difference between the styles in its latest response. So it's using the width. So in this one, for 1, it's using the width, right? However, for 2, it's using margin left, which is the progress offset. So if I hard code progress offset to literally 0. Actually, sorry, if I just comment this out. What happens to our code? We don't have this. Okay. Why don't we have this? So value is now, sure, let's say it's 20 and 80. What happens? That's in the center, right? Okay, that's fine. But now if I just do 80, why is it not doing anything? So if I give 80, it's going to give me back 80 and 80 because, right, this is the max value and min value is going to be 0. 0 divided by whatever is going to be 0 times 100 is going to be 0. Why not just set min to 0 for the one value use case? Set min is set to 0. If it's not, yeah, why don't we just do that? Am I just dreaming here? No, I'm not. Yo, thanks, man. ME. I think this got it. I think if we do that, I think that's fine. Right? So let's try all of our cases. So we have 80. Let's say we have 20. 20 is there. Let's say we do now 20 and 80. That's fine. What if I do 50 and 80? Please work. That's great. And then I think it works. Then 30 and 20. It works. Good. ME, much respect. You solved this. Much respect, dude. Nice. So I'm from South Africa. Any advice for me when I start the job hunt remotely? So first of all, you need to figure out your tax things. That's something people don't really talk about. If you're going to work remotely, if you're going to work within South Africa, that's fine. You don't need to do anything. You can be a normal employee. However, I'm not sure what the culture is in South Africa as to whether or not like remote work is a thing, if you want something fully remote or not. If you want to expand to like the rest of the world, then you need to figure out your taxes, because you're not going to be able to be an employee. You're going to have some sort of entity, a business or whatever, through which you send invoice. You're then going to become like a contractor, and so you're going to work business to business rather than employee to employer, right? And that is different because you're going to have to declare taxes and everything differently. So I would look into that, right? That's what I can suggest for you. It is a complicated thing. You might have to get an accountant and whatnot. Ideally, to start off, I would just look within South Africa for now. And if you can get something that's even like hybrid, going a few days in the office, a few days at home, I think that's a great starting point. Get some experience and then use that time to like slowly look into branching off into remote work, because who knows, you may not enjoy remote work as much. That's also a thing, right? I love how when people read my name, you can tell if they're a developer or not. Of course, there you go. That's the whole point, man. That's a cool little thing. Well, GPT won't replace us, I think. I don't think so. Not anytime soon. I think there's a lot of things broken with it. Not broken, just it has limitations. And I think the value in it comes when you combine the human with the AI, like we did just now, right? So there you go. Cool. So we have it working. I am so happy, right? Great, great. So now, the only thing that we need to do is we did this progress here, right? So what we have to do is we have to calculate the maximum value of the forecast, right? So the forecast is going to be an array. So the maximum value of the forecast, the minimum value of the forecast, pass those as min and max, and then pass in the actual values, right? Because that's gonna happen. Right, okay. So first thing what we want to do is we want to get the min and the max. So we're gonna do const min temperature. It's gonna math.min, and that's gonna be daily forecast dot map. What's wrong here? So what's our daily forecast? I completely forgot what it is. So you're gonna have max temperature, min temperature, which is gonna be a type number. That's fine. So then math min, argument of type number is not assignable to parameter of type number. Oh man, how do you? Right? It's daily. That's gonna map an array. Can you not do this? 1, 2, 3. You can't do it this way. Okay, let me just honestly Google this. JavaScript, find the largest number in an array of objects, right? Because it's an array of objects. I think I just don't want to like, yeah, this is what I want. So this is exactly what I did. Ah, you do this way. Aha. Okay, sorry. Syntax error. Boom. There we go. So that's the minimum temperature. Honestly, we're gonna use memo. We're gonna memo this. And the reason we're gonna use memo this is because we don't want this to run unnecessarily if daily forecast didn't change, right? And then we're gonna do this with the max temperature as well. So max, and that's gonna be math.max. Oh, did I mess something up? What is it? Prettier. I had a thing. Do I not have a prettier config? Oh, okay, whatever. I can deal with this. No, that's okay. I can deal with this later. Great. That's max. So that's math.max, and then max temperature. So these are our min and our max, right? Then we're gonna have this progress. We don't care about the progress anymore. We just need to give it yeah, okay. So const min is going to be equal to forecast on min temperature. Const max is going to be equal to forecast. Oh no, that should be fine. That should actually be fine. We don't need this progress anymore. So what we can do is give it an array. The first element is going to be forecast.min. dot max temperature, and then the min is going to be min temperature, max temperature. Right? Yo, this works, man. This works, dude. So look, we have exactly what we have in the weather app, right? Where is it? It's here. We have exactly what we have here, where our maximum right now is 31, right? And so the day with 31 is completely filled. And actually, coincidentally, that day also has the minimum, right? So our minimum is 16. So here we have 18, right? Which is 2 away from 16. So that's what you see here. This represents 2. But also 27 is 4 away from 31. So that represents 4. 30 is 1 away from 31. And 21 is, what is it? It's 7 away. It's 5 away from 16. So this works. We've got it. We've achieved it. This works. The only thing, if you just give it one value, I think I just remembered something. ME, confirm this with me because you came up with this. I don't think this should be 0. This here, when it's one value and not an array. I think this should be min, right? Because what if you do 0, but the minimum is like 20, right? Confirm to me that this is the case. I'm pretty sure this is the case. The diff, why not just, okay, the diff time zone would matter too. Time zones, there's no time zones quite yet in this, so I don't think it would matter. May I ask, what do you think better to be, software engineer or web engineer for a better career? A web engineer is a software engineer. You're just building software for the web. All right. Honestly, dude, do what you like best and don't focus as much on what's better for a career, just because your own happiness is worth more in the long run, trust me with this, than any kind of opportunities in your career. And the reason I'm able to say this is because regardless of what whatever you choose to go in, what field you choose to go in software development, you're covered. Like, software developers are in high demand and they're going to continue to be in high demand for like a while. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. As long as you don't do something like, I mean, even like if you learn PHP and WordPress, you can still find jobs and you would still be able to find jobs like for a while, right? So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Find the thing that you love to do most and stick to that, because you're going to be much better at it. You're going to have a much better time doing it. And in the long run, it's going to be easier for you and better for your happiness. And that is worth everything else. Daniel, hello. Hello, Daniel. What's up? Good to see you here. ME, I think so, yes. Should be min of all values, right? It should be the minimum. There you go. So we've just prevented a bug here, which is cool. Cool. So we finished the progress. We finished this. We memoized these values. Everything is good. Our progress now accounts for 2 values. We've done it. Fantastic. I am really happy with the result. This looks really beautiful. The only thing that I want to do is maybe change like the dates here slightly. So I'll just go to my daily forecast data, and summer we've defaulted them. Yeah. So this maybe can have 19 as a minimum, right? So it's not completely the minimum here. And then one of them has the minimum, one of them has the maximum, 2 of them have kind of an in-between. So we're representing every single possible state. Nice, good. So with this, we have a fully functioning homepage of a weather app, although it's with dev data, which is, you know, fine. It's hard-coded data, that's fine. The concept is the same, it works, and it's fully functional. So now the next thing that we have to do is actually connect this to an API, which is gonna be super interesting. I'm super excited for it. Let's connect this to an API. Your own happiness, it matters the most. There is cause in 2023. Let's go, dude. Let's go. No, it really does, man. Honestly, like happiness, like, dude, you want to wake up and you want to be excited about the code that you're writing, right? The differences in income and salary that you can get being a web developer, being front-end, back-end, DevOps, whatever, is not that significant compared to the happiness you would get working on something that you love versus working on something that you don't really enjoy, right? Like the salary difference might be like, I don't know, 20% maybe. Whereas the happiness, like doing something that you really love versus doing something you don't love, like that can make or break your day. And then if you do this every day, right? So my 2 cents based off of my experience is do the things that you love. You will always find ways to get more money, right? Like you don't have to like stay with the job. Your job can be a kind of a backup or like something that just gets you income, and you can do other things on the side, right? So do the things that you love the most and then like try to figure it out that way, right? I think that's what I would do. And that's actually what I've done so far, right? Cool. So let's do the API. Thank you, ChatGPT. I love you. I might use you again, but you've been really useful. Cool. So the API for this is, let me just check my email here. It's called Open Weather, right? So this is the API. Again, no man, I don't want to like give my location. So it has a pricing, right? It's like, again, 1,000 API calls per day for free. That's just for now. I just want to get an API working. I like the results that this one gave, so I will just use that for now. If it comes to it and we need to change, which we 100% will need to change, then I will make the change, because once we put this open source, right, it doesn't make sense to have someone pay for this. So I will do that, but for now we're going to use this. And first of all, before using this, I need to figure something out. I have an API key, which obviously I'm not going to put on the stream. That's going to be like a challenge to kind of not put that on the stream. But what I need to figure out is how do I set up an env in Next.js. So we're going to do that. Next.js env, the variables, and we might actually do something with like Zod, like something fancy, just because I want to. Yeah. So process.env. So you can do, so env.local. Okay, let's read from the start. Next.js comes with built-in support for environment variables, which allows you to do the following. Use env.local to load environment variables, bundle environment variables for the browser by prefixing with next public. Right. Next.js has built-in support for loading environment variables from env.local, so we don't need to do anything else, right? We just put something in env.local and we have process.env, right? So if we do that, that's fine. This will load those, that's fine. Referencing other variables, we can do this, that's fine. Yes, I want to see that. Non-next public environment variables are only available in the Node.js environment, meaning they aren't accessible to the browser. The client runs in a different environment. So this is if we are doing stuff on the server, which I believe we're going to do, then we're going to have to, right. If we want something in our client, so if we want to fetch something in the client and not the server, we have to do next public. If we want to fetch something in the server, we're going to not to do next public. So I think that's fine for us now. We'll worry about like hydration and things like that, but I don't think that should be a problem. Okay. In order to make the value of an environment variable accessible in the browser, Next can inline a value at build time into the JS bundle that is delivered to the client, replacing all references to process.env variable with a hard-coded value. To tell it to do this, you just have to prefix with next public. Okay, we're not going to do next public. We're just going to do this. So let's first test. So we're going to create a new file here, env.local. And then I'm just going to do, is it uppercase? Right, it is uppercase. So where's my code? So test equals worked. And then if I come here to my daily forecast, this is actually not going to be available here. So actually, let's go to home. Where's home? Pages, home. Do I not have? Yeah, okay. So I can close this. So then if I do console.log process.env.test, first of all, that's not going to be there. And I'm pretty sure this is not going to log anything if I do this. undefined, right? Because we didn't put next public. So this is not going to be available there. So now we need to go and figure out how to do Next.js get static props. Is it that? Do we want get static props? If you export a function called get static props, that's not what we want. Next.js will pre-render this page at build time using the props returned by get static props. That's not what we want. We want get server-side props. That's what we want. If you export a function called get server-side props, server-side rendering from a page, Next.js will pre-render this page on each request using the data returned by get server-side props. Good. So we're gonna straight up copy this. So this is gonna happen in our home page, right? Because this is a page. Export const get static props. We're gonna import from next. I'm gonna save this. Gonna imp repo. What's repo? What? This is the return value. This is the return. I see. So I see. So this is going to be weather data. So these are the props that we're returning from this function. And weather data is going to return weather data, right? Which is going to have condition, all of the things that we're working with, we're now going to get from our API, right? So great, that's what we are doing. Great. Then what we want to do is we want to get the, so first of all, let's do something. Let's do props weather data is going to be undefined. That's fine. And then I'm just going to comment all of this. And then if I do console.log process.env.test, and then I refresh this page, we shouldn't get any errors. Error serializing weather data. Object date cannot be serialized as JSON. Right. That's why it's not complaining. Weather data is going to be an empty object. That's fine. There you go. So nothing logged in the console. That's right, because it's not going to the browser, which means it logged in this console here. So our process.env actually worked. So that is good. We have our env working in our Next.js app. Great. Good. So now what we want to do is, you see, I did here process.env.test, and actually like there's no type kind of completion for this at all. So what I want to do is I want to use Zod, which is a very useful library that's exploded in popularity, and it's like really useful. It's used in a couple of projects, in a bunch of projects. That's going to get me automatic validation of my env and automatic type inheritance. So I'm just going to open a new tab and do Next.js env variables TypeScript with Zod. Let's see what happens. Adding type safety to environment variables in Next.js. That looks like what we want to do. I've been working with Next.js for some time. Yada, yada, yada. Use Zod. Let me look at the code. Where's the code? Where's the code? Where's the code, man? Like, you're giving a tutorial, but there's no code, just some instructions. Like, please don't. Environment variables. Does T3 have something? Yes, that's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Create T3 app uses its own package and Next.js along with Zod under the hood for validating environment variables at build time and providing simple logic in env. Right. If you want to add a new environment, oh, but it's this. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want to do it myself. Is this literally the same tutorial? This is, oh, you have code now. Okay, so import Z from Zod, that's fine. Schema, export env parse process.env, that's exactly what we want. Import env dot. That's exactly what we want. So let's do it this way. Let's straight up do it this way, okay? So we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna create, what is it? Yes, so I'm gonna do, we have a utils folder. We have a utils. I'm gonna do env.ts And then I'm actually gonna paste this. So we already have Zod. Do we? We have Zod, fair enough. Then if I do test, is gonna be z.string, right? And then export const, and do we want to do it like this? We're gonna see. That's fine. And then it's going to parse the process.env. And so then if I now go into console.log env.test, we have automatic type inference. And also, I believe, automatic, yes, automatic validation, right? So I can do something like m.parse. Yes, this is going to actually, this parse function from Zod is going to throw an error if nothing is valid. So if, for example, right, we just remove, we put test as test with double T's, right? If we just did that and I do this, there we go. Zod error, right? Invalid type, path test. It's saying that basically it's required, but we didn't do it right. We didn't do it well. So if you don't have a proper env, right, Zod is gonna figure this out and it's going to throw an error at runtime, which is great. As soon as I switch back to test, then we have no errors and everything is fine. Wonderful. Good. So now we have this. What I want to do is also, here's the cool thing. I think this work this way. Test with T, another T, failed. If this happens, would it throw an error? It won't. As long as your required properties are there, it doesn't matter if you have extra properties, it's just going to ignore them. That's fine. Fair enough. Cool. So in this case, we want to get the open weather API key. So that's going to be open weather API key. That's going to be a string. That's going to be required, right? Then we're going to copy this. We're going to come to our env local, do this as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to attempt to hide this from view. Please work. Please hide this from view so that I can go into my email, get the actual, what is it called? Get the API key, go to VS Code, paste the API key, close this, and then put this back here, and hopefully you will never see my API key. If I mess up, then I mess up, and then it's gonna be, I'm not gonna console log this anymore because that's not what I'm trying to do. And then we can actually fetch our data. So let's fetch our data. So let's look at the actual API, right? So API, and we are going to see current weather data. So we're going to do one for the current weather data. We're going to do one for the daily forecast and the hourly forecast. So let's start with the current weather data. Let's go. So the base API is going to be api.openweathermap.data 2.5 weather. Then you have to provide the latitude and longitude, and then your API key, and that's going to give you some things. Okay, let's try this. So const base URL is going to be equal to this, right? Yeah, so it's going to be equal to that. No, let's do the const res is going to be equal to await fetch and then base URL. But then we want to give some, how do I give some params? No. Next.js fetch send params. Let's see. Fetching data. In server side. No, what is it? Data fetching. Just give me like a way to do params. Not params, not this. I need to fetch. Query params. I just want to do query params, like in fetch, like, right? I don't want to just do it like this. Const. Is there not like request info init input? Is it like this? Path name, yeah, okay, path name, base URL, search, it's search params, okay, fair enough, we're gonna do search params, cool. So, path name, search params is gonna be, lat is gonna be some latitude, we don't have it yet, lon is gonna be some longitude, actually no, we have it, we have the, our location, right? Yes, that's gonna be weather data dot location dot latitude. Yes. Weather data dot location dot longitude. Yes. Great. What is this? Object lat number is not assignable to URL search params. Do we have to do it this way? Like, why can't I just provide like straight up the latitude and longitude? URL what? Okay, wait. Const search params equals URL new URL search params. Lon lat is going to be equal to weather data lon. Why doesn't this work? Can I do it this way? Okay. Search dot. I don't need to. Yeah, I do need to string, sure. Right, and then we're going to do search params. It's just going to be equal to search params. Why? Path is missing the following properties from type URL. Yo, why is this so complicated, man? It's 1 a.m. here, gotta go sleep. I'll rewatch this live. Alexander, thank you for being here, man. Much appreciated. I'm gonna go on for like an hour, a bit, and then we're gonna end it. But yeah, much appreciated, man. Enjoy your sleep. How to pass query parameters to Next.js, right? So I want to do this. How do I pass query parameters, man? Bro, like... Like, this should be super simple. I do this in, like, React, like, native all the time. Does fetch not... Because the thing is, like, I could just pass them on like this, right? Like, just hard code the things there. But I don't want to do that. I want to, like, have a proper object with, like, the every parameter there, right? Like, that's what I want to do, so I don't get it. Bogdan, you're back. Had connection issues. Dude, get an Ethernet cable. That's what I do. And then it's... seems to be flawless. Dude, Bogdan, you're here. Help me out, man. How do I pass params, search params, to fetch? I just want to pass like a simple parameter to fetch through either like an object or whatever. I don't want to do it through the URL because that's gonna make it a bit like dirty, I guess. Let me do something here. Const URL equals new URL, base URL, and then URL.search. Can I do that? URL.set lon location.longitude, right? I can do that. Then we can get rid of this, and if I can just give this to fetch. Aha, there we go. Okay, fair enough. Cool. So that's the response, and then all I want to do is const what is it? Weather data await response.json. Is this search params an alternative to passing through the URL? Yes, it's like JavaScript's native way of doing it. I prefer it this way because you can programmatically set your params, and like you don't have to worry about like string interpolation in a string, and it's just like a more programmatic way to do things, and I just prefer this to that. This the weather app using React? Yes, it is, Tim Tam. 5 a.m. now. Dude, is it like, did you just wake up or you're like just going to sleep now? But yes, this is the weather app with React and Next.js. Cool. Yeah, so I can't redeclare. So JSON, let's do this JSON and just do console.log JSON, right? Kill this. What did they do? That's fine. Console.log.json, and let's see what this returns to us. Oh, sorry. Woo. Of course, one more thing. URL.search params set params.set app ID. Oh, Copilot, man, saves the day. Perfect. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to then remove them from here. And this should now be equivalent. We've now basically set our URL and set our search params. Let's see what happens in our console. No error. That's promising. Boom. This is it, guys. We've just successfully called our first API. Wonderful. So what does this give us? Coordinates, right? It's the coordinates. Weather, ID 100, that's fine. Main is clear. Description, it's a clear sky. Icon, that, ooh, we might use the icon, but maybe not. Main, temperature, 299.63, feels like. Min, max, pressure, humidity, sea level. Wind, time zone, name. Minoral. Country KZ. What? Did I do the wrong ones? Did I do the wrong? I did the, oh no, I did the wrong ones, man. I did latitude, longitude, latitude. So let me go and correct this. Location, where is it? Dev location. This should be longitude. My God, longitude, latitude. Save this. Do we get this again? Clouds, name, there's no name. Clouds, stations. This is in like Kelvin temperature, right? I think 279 Kelvin in Celsius. 5.80. What is this temperature, man? Hold on. Montreal coordinates. What's the latitude? Which one's the longitude, man? Okay, longitude. Oh no. I hate this. I hate latitudes. I hate longitudes. I hate them. Do you know why I hate them? Because it's negative 73. Negative 73, not positive 73. Latitude can go negative. Of course it can. I've had this bug in another app, man, and like it was crashing for people because I didn't consider that latitudes, longitudes, whatever. I think longitudes are like cannot go to negative, but I think latitudes cannot go in negatives, but longitudes can. But let me just confirm. What is latitude? The angular distance of a place north or south of the Earth's equator. So latitude is north and south. Okay. Longitude is east or west. That's interesting because for me, latitude was kind of like I had them the other side. So longitude is east to west. Latitude is north to south. So then Montreal, the longitude, which is from east to west, that's negative 73 because it's all the way in the American continent. But the latitude is 45 degrees from north to south. So that's fair. So the latitude is 45. So then if we go back to our code, we can close this, go back to dev location. The latitude is this, but the longitude is gonna be 73. But see, this is misleading because it's 73, but it's negative 73, right? Because I can see it here at the bottom, like negative 73, which makes sense, right? But here it's like confusing because the negative is like west, I would assume. So it's negative 73. And that is the longitude. So we're going to do negative 73. And then if I go back to our app, refresh, come back, Montreal. There you go. There you go. Great. So it's currently cloudy in Montreal, scattered clouds. Temperature is 296.91. What is the temperature in, man? Like, I want Celsius. Like, can I just get Celsius? So open current weather data. Units. Unit of measurement. Metric. Yes, sir. Give me metric, my dear friend. So, units of measurement. So I'm going to add a new URL param. So let's do this like this. URL.search.set units. How does it know that? How does Copilot know that? Like, it knew that I wanted metric. Wow, I'm scared almost. So if I do it this way, refresh, we get 23.65, 24.21, 22.1, 25.11, pressure, visibility. Wow, we have wind, we have everything. Great, 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 great. So now, here's the very important part, right? Here's what we want to do now. We want to be API agnostic, which means that we don't want to care what API we're using, right? If we down the road want to change our API to something else, because we can, right? We want to be able to do that without having it affect our code. Now, when you're going to change API, it's going to return to you a different response. And first of all, it's going to take in a different kind of request, different parameters. Probably it's still going to take the longitude and latitude as well, but it might be slightly different in how you achieve it. But I'm more so focused on the actual response right now, because in the response, we want to not care what our response is. We want to always return the same data to our application so that it can consume and show this data the same way that we have it now, regardless of which API we use. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to add a layer. We're going to create our own function that is going to take in the data from the API and is going to convert it to, where is it? To our weather data type here. Our weather data has a condition, right? Current temperature, daily forecast, and all of that. We are going to use that to convert it into what we want. So then if we want to change our API in the future, we can get rid of the API, get a new one, then change our function to do the new mapping from that response to our data, and then our code is going to work exactly the same way, right? That's the smart way to do it. You always want to be thinking ahead because things can happen in the future, and you want to always be prepared. Cool. So let's create that function. So first of all, we have to look at the documentation for this and see what does it give us and what do we actually need. So we know that we need, for our app, we need the actual degrees in Celsius, which is what we want in metric. We need the name of the place, which we also have, as we've seen. We need the icon that we're going to use. So we're going to have to do some mapping between, what is it, their icon here or description. We're going to have to figure it out. And the actual icon that we're going to use. So we're going to do that. And then we need the min and max. And I think that is it for the current temperature. We're then going to work on these hourly forecasts and daily forecasts later. So actually, what I'm going to do for now, because you're going to see in our types here, in our weather data type, we actually bundled them together. We bundled daily forecast data and hourly forecast data into weather data. But from this API, they're going to come separately, right? We've seen that there's a couple of endpoints that you can use. This one does not have the hourly or daily forecast. So we're actually going to remove this from here. We're not going to need it. And then just because I don't want to think about this right now, I'm just going to comment this out, and that'll be a problem for the future, right? We're just going to be working exclusively with this here, and we're going to make this come from the API now. Cool. So we have our response. We know what to get. We're not going to fire any more useless requests. So I want to create a function here, and this is going to be a utils, and that's going to be a I'm going to do it so we have this API here, which we're not going to use yet. I'm not going to put this in. Let me see. What is the API folder in Next.js? What does it do? That's an API root using pages router. API roots provide a solution to build your API with Next.js. Any file inside pages API is mapped to API and will be treated as an API endpoint. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do utils for now. Again, we can change this later. Make a new folder, API. And then we're just going to do helpers.ts. And then we're going to do export const. What is this going to be called? Convert weather, open weather data. That's going to be data of type any for now. And that's going to return to us weather data, right? So we need to just type this for now, and we're going to do that in just a second. And then we're going to take this data, then we are going to convert it and return weather data back, right? So let's build our interface open weather data, right? And that one, as we've seen here, is going to have a key called weather, which we're only going to use right now the description. Yeah. No, the icon. I think that's more fair. No, let's do the description. It's a bit more explicit. So, Gruswar, my guy, you made it. Dude, a lot has happened. A lot has happened on this life, man. A lot has happened. We've used ChatGPT to do things. We've built things. We've connected an API. We're now working with the API to convert it. A lot of things happen, man, but I'm glad that you're here. Welcome, dude. Grusfor has been... I remember, man, like years ago when I would make TikToks on like this other app, like Keep It Alive, right? The other app that I built, and I would do TikToks, and like Gruswar, man, I remember I was like answering your comments, and like you were like participating, and like you're one of the first guys, like, you know, to come to the first Discord that we did and all of that. Fantastic stuff, man. I really appreciate you. And I also, you're the only one, I think, from all of these people that saw my life in Germany, in Cologne, with my girlfriend the other day, last year. So Gruswar, much respect, man. I'm super happy that you're here. And yeah, hope that you enjoy this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the icon. And then I think here I can get like a mapping to like icons and what they mean. And we're going to just do a mapping from icon to our actual icons, right? So we'll do that. So it's going to be weather and icon. So we're going to do there. Weather, icon, and that's going to be string, right? So we know that that's that. Then open weather data here. So we know we have an icon. What else do we care about? Looking at our app, we care about the name. So let's get the name of it. So name, where is it? So name is a root level key. So we have a name. Name string. Imagine doing a live in Cologne and not telling me. Dude, Bogdan, man, this was a spontaneous live the day after. No, yeah. Dude, yeah, the day after the Christmas thing. Yeah, it was Friday. It was cold as fuck, man, honestly. It was freezing. And my girlfriend and I, we kind of walked from the center to our hotel, and it was like we went to buy donuts as well, and I just spontaneously did a live, and it was like, man, it was freezing, and yeah, I remember that. My bad, I didn't tell you. We weren't I wasn't yeah, we weren't talking that much then, Bogdan, my bad. But now if I do another live, I will tell you, and I will make sure that you're there. Yeah, that's a live for the, I don't even think I have the recording for it, so only Gruswar knows about it. Gruswar, oh yeah, I remember the live. Y'all made together the way y'all got lost. Yeah, man, we got lost, man, and we couldn't figure it out, and then my girlfriend kind of found a way, which props to her, man. Props to her. I'm usually the one that's more aware situationally, but that time I was completely lost, and she was on it, right? Cool. So we have name. Name is a string. That's fine. And then what else do we need? We need so we have the icon here. We need the max and the min and the current temperature, right? So let's look at that. So main, that's going to be in main. So we're going to have the temperature and then temp min, temp max, and that's all that we're going to do for now. So that's going to be main. Temp. Is it going to know? No. Temp min, temp max. Man, I love GPT. Yo, you're so smart. Right? So it's going to do that. That's fine. And then I think that's it, right? We just need the temperature. That's fine. Okay, cool. So this open weather data is what is coming from our API, right? And from this, we need to now convert it to our weather data. So we're going to do this in section, right? So we're going to do const. What can it do? Can it like... No, ChatGPT is not that smart. It's not that smart. So name is going to be data.name to weather data. And name does not exist. Why does that not exist in weather data? Location. So we need a location on weather data, which is going to have name. Okay, let's just do it from scratch. Okay, so first, const location is going to be equal to name data.name, right? And then actually, that's going to be location from our types, right? So we're first going to do the location. And then I just want to get the, from location, can I get the coordinates? Chord, C-O-O-R-D. There you go. So that's going to also have a property chord, which is going to be lat longitude. You know what's funny? We just looked at latitude and longitude and I actually forgot what those are. Like what's longitude and latitude? I forgot. That's how I'm like so not into it. Lat is going to be equal to data.core.lat. Lon is going to be equal to data.core.lon. So we have our location, and then we can do our const weather data, right? And that's going to have location. That's going to be location. And then what else do we have in weather data? We have the condition, which is going to be, oh yeah, we have an Armageddon thing. So Armageddon, cloudy, rainy, sunny, thunderstorm. Okay, so let's not deal with that right now. We have current temperature. So we're going to do current temperature is going to be data.main.temperature. Min temperature, data.main.tempin. Max temperature, data.main.maxtemperature. Right? What are you missing? Condition. So okay, now we have to do condition. So this icon thing, what is it? Icon. Base, not weather. Weather icon ID. What's weather icon ID? Give me the weather icon ID. So we can close this. Open weather icon ID. Let's see that. Weather condition codes. Yeah. Ooh. Oh wow. They have night and day. That's cool. So 01D is sunny, right? Yeah, clear sky. 02D, few clouds, scattered clouds. Weather condition. Wait. This is like too complicated. No, this is too complicated, man. So we have broken clouds, but like our answer, if you look here, we got scattered clouds. Okay, that is one icon there. So that's scattered clouds should be 0.3D. We're gonna do it this way, actually. We're gonna do it this way. Okay, cool. So the what was it? The weather description is gonna be of type string. Actually, it's gonna be a literal of scattered clouds. Oh, am I gonna have clear sky, few clouds? Is it? ChatGPT is smart now. So clear sky, few clouds, we have this. Broken clouds, we have this. No, we don't. We're gonna do broken clouds. Shower rain. Shower rain. Rain. Right. Rain, thunderstorm, snow, mist. Okay, so it knows this. It actually knows the API. Fair enough. So then we're gonna do a map between this description and a and the description and the actual condition in our code. But actually, this type, no, that's fine. No, we want this. We want to work with this. Yeah, okay. So actually, we may need to add some more definitions. You know what? Yeah, we're going to need to add some more definitions. We're going to need a definition for clear sky, few clouds, broken clouds, shower rain, and so on. So actually, if I can do this here, oh, that's going to kind of change everything. Right? So that's going to be our condition. Then instead of sunny, everywhere where we have sunny, we're going to do clear sky. That's going to clear the error. Everywhere we have cloudy, we're going to do... Oh, there's no cloudy? Scattered clouds. Is that what cloudy means? Scattered clouds? I think so. So cloudy is going to be... scattered clouds. And then we have one more, which is... Ah, right. This is, we don't need this. That's fine. Okay, we have no more errors. Okay, that's fine. So our condition is going to be this. So then we actually don't need to do a map in condition. We can literally just do condition. And that's going to be, no, it's going to be data dot weather dot description. And it's not going to complain. And then return weather data. Okay. So we have this, okay. Then in our page, is that gonna work? Condition. Yeah, we have one thing that we're missing. Yeah, we have one thing that we're missing, which is, right. So what we did, let's just recap a little bit for what we did. Gursor, try to Google Bard. It's like ChatGPT, but it has live access to Google. Dude, I would, but can I try Bard? Oh, okay. I mean, that's why. Okay, I just need to use a different account. I have like a workspace account, which is like a business account, so it's not available for that. But if it was like a normal account, I would be available. Rajat, you make great videos. Love from India. Much love back, man. Glad you enjoy the videos. Glad you find value from them. What did I want to do? Yeah. So let's recap a little bit, right? So we're building our function that will take in something from the open weather data, or API, takes in that data, which we've only set the properties that we're actually going to use. And that's going to convert that to our weather data object, which is the thing that we use in our application. We're doing this so that if we need to use another API, we can just change this interface and then change this function to just give us that same thing, but return weather data. And so that means that the rest of our app is going to be, it's going to work without any other changes, right? It makes it efficient to do that. However, if I go now to current weather card, you're going to see that I have this function get condition icon, which if I go to the definition, you're going to see that it's still using the old icons that we had. So we're going to need to make some changes in that. So first of all, we're going to add Armageddon back to our condition because we liked Armageddon. So we're going to do Armageddon, right? It's going to do this. I also would like to just alphabetize all of them just because I like doing it that way. It makes it easier to find things. And then I think we need some more icons for this, but yeah, we're gonna need some more icons for that. So that's gonna be one thing. Then, right, so cloudy is gonna be wrong. So that's gonna be, let's do them alphabetically. So broken clouds is gonna come to broken clouds. So we're gonna need, where did we get our icons, man? Weather, yes, weather icon pack. Which one was it? Which one was it? No, that's not the one I want. Weather, I'm just gambling at this point because I completely forgot. Was it this one? It was this one, but they didn't have all. Yeah, it was this one. Okay. So we're looking at broken clouds, which in this one is broken clouds. Okay, honestly, that's just cloudy. So I'm just going to do cloudy. Yeah. Then we're going to, let's kill all of these for now. Then we're going to do clear sky. This is going to be sunny. Then we're going to do few clouds. That's going to be partially sunny. So do we have something like that? Do we have, let's see, public condition icons, partly cloudy, right? Partly cloudy. Then we need mist. Man, do we have something for mist? What is mist? Oh man, do we have something for mist? We do, but I don't like this one at all. I don't like, we're gonna do this for now. This is foggy night. You know what, like, it is what it is. I think it's this one. We're just gonna, are all of our other things, they're PNG. So we're gonna download this, free download. We're going to show in Finder. That's gonna be mist. So we're gonna do rename. Oh my god, why? Mist. Good, mist. Copy this and then paste it in, where is it? It's in Cosnet Solutions. It's in projects. It's in better weather. Public condition icons. Mist. There you go. So I put mist in here. So now if I go back here, I can do mist. Then we have, what do we have? Oh my god, ChatGPT. Sometimes I don't want you to say anything. We need rain. So rain. Rain, that's gonna be rainy. Scattered clouds, that's also gonna be partly cloudy. And then shower rain is gonna be rain, honestly. And then snow is gonna be, do we have snow? We don't have snow. If we're doing Canada, we have to have snow, so we need to get one for snow. Is there one? Just give me like one icon for snow, which is this one. It's fine. It's snow. It's fine. Snowing. Download. It's gonna download. Rename. Snow. Copy. Paste here. Go back to VS Code. Snow is snow. We have snow here in the left. That's fine. And then the last one. Thunderstorm. Thunderstorm. Boom. 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 We have all of them. So now that we have this, we should have no errors. So now whatever response we get from the API, we're now gonna map it. So we're gonna do const, actually, we're just gonna return here. Weather data is gonna be equal to, what is it? Helpers convert open weather data, JSON. Actually, we're gonna do data as open weather. I'm gonna export this from here, right? And then we can close this for now. Open weather data, right? And then data, and this should be it, guys. If I refresh this page right now, Where's my chat? Where's my chat? Where is the chat? If I refresh this page right now, since you have a workspace account, do you have your domain with Google Domain or another host? Since Google is setting up Google Domain to Squarespace, will you transfer your domain? I actually have my domain with like some other, I have it with like GoDaddy, which is another provider. So yeah, I'm not looking to change it right away, but if I have to, I will. But moment of truth. If I reload this page right now and we get the actual weather in Montreal, we're good. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, refresh. No, no. Error serializing weather data.condition returned from get server side props. Reason undefined cannot be serialized as JSON. So weather data.condition is undefined. Okay, let's do some investigative work. So let's go back to our function, our helpers here, and let's first do console.log weather data, and then no, I think that's fine. Let's do that. Let's do console log this, and let's refresh, and then go to our console and see what logged. So the condition of our object is undefined. Why is that undefined? Why is it undefined? What if I do, okay, console, what if I log data and then I refresh? What happens now? So I logged our data. So we had weather. Oh, it's an array. Oh my, it's an array. So weather is an array. So our type is wrong here. So actually ChatGPT knew better because it suggested an array beforehand, but it's an array. So we can do array and then weather.0.description, and then this should work. Let's try it again. No. Why? Weather data.condition. Why? So console.log weather data, and then console.log data, and then just so we know, console.log this. Let's do it again. What happens? What's going on? So condition is undefined. Why? Because we are doing data.weather, which is an array, the first element in this array, and then I'm doing description, so that's fine. But then why? So our response has the first element in the array and description. Why is that undefined? Why is that undefined? I don't understand. Why is that undefined? We're doing data.weather. So is this right? Data is our whole object here. Dot weather, which is an array. The first element in that array, which is this object here, its property called description is what I'm giving to condition. Yet condition is undefined. Am I missing something? What if I do data.weather.0? What happens then? So if I log weather 0 dot description, do I have a typo? Oh my god. Oh my god. I have a typo, guys. I have a typo. Can you spot it? Have you spotted it already? Have you spotted it already? In like, oh man, I that's my biggest weakness as a developer. I always make mistakes like this, typos, and I omit obvious things, and that's what happens. Description is not description. It's missing an I. So if I description, right, which means our type here is wrong, because and then if you do this, This should work. I'm even gonna overconfidently remove the console logs because I'm badass. It did not error, but it also did not update the value. Why? Like, it's not 27 in Montreal right now. It's 24, and what's the high? 27 and 17. This is not accurate. Why? So let's go back to our request where we're fetching the request and do console.log. Oh, of course, we're still using the old data. Right. Okay. We're gonna kill this. So we're gonna need to, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kill this dev weather data. We don't need this. We are going to import, we're gonna remove this. We don't need it. Kill this. And then instead of location, we're gonna do dev location and then dev location, right? Because this still is using, this component is using weather data, which was still referencing the actual dev data that we had before. Blinksy, what are we building? We're building a weather app with Next.js and React, obviously, right? So now we're currently at the process of connecting our API with Next.js and actually showing the data there. So let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's fix that. So now this weather data is going to have to come from the props of this, right? Now I just need to figure out how would you get Next.js get server side props TypeScript example. Ideally from Next.js themselves. Infer get server side props. Ooh, can I just do it this way? Ooh, that is what I want. So weather data, and then that's gonna be infer. Man, I love inference. There you go, we have weather data. And now if I refresh the page, guys, we got it. We got stuff. Oh man, we got it, guys. I'm so happy we got it. This data now comes from the API and no longer from our hard-coded code. Beautiful. We got them. Nice. We can confirm this. We said it's 24 degrees. So, Montreal weather, 24 degrees. High of 27, low of 24. High of 27, low of 23. Different weather sources. Sorry, low of 17. Okay. Let me check my phone. Allow me to check my phone and see Montreal. What is the weather data of Montreal? Ta-ta-tum. Ta-ta-tum. So, 24, high 28, low 18. 22 seems awfully off from 18, right? Console log weather data, right? Let's see what we have in our console. Object. Current temperature. Min temperature 22.77. Something's off. Something is off, guys. I mean, is it? If you look at the API definition, so weather, base, temp min, minimum temperature at the moment. This is minimal currently observed temperature. What? How do I get, like, is this the minimum temperature of the day? Feels like I don't need that. Main pressure, main dot humidity, main dot temperature minimum. Minimum temperature at the moment. What does at the moment mean? This is minimal currently observed temperature within large. What? So our max is 27, which is accurate, right? Right, the max is 27. But the min is 17. So something's wrong with the API. I doubt it. But there's no other like min, right? So I don't get it. What if we were to do, let's do something else. Vienna weather, which is where I'm currently at. Okay, why is it also 17? Give me like Dubai or something. Okay, 39 and 34. And currently it's 37. Let's look at Dubai coordinates. Which one's the latitude versus longitude? So latitude is the 20. Yeah, it's latitude and longitude. Okay, so then let's go back to our dev data. Sorry, our location. So here, let's go back to our location, dev location, and that's gonna be latitude this, and then longitude, is it? That's 55, thankfully. 55. What do we get? 38 and 36. So this API might be off. So it's not, I don't think it's our fault. I think it's this API, it might be off. I think that's okay. Okay, let's not then worry about that at all. We're gonna use Montreal, and then we actually don't need this name anymore for, no, I'm just gonna keep it for now. It's fine. Cool. So we have a fully functional weather app. The only thing that I want to do is just maybe round these things there. So I'm going to do, why are they not rounded? So I'm going to go to current weather card and then format temperature. Did I not? I didn't round it. Mat.round temperature. Boom. So we're at 25 with a high of 27 and 33. You can't just fetch the data using the link to what the link gives you. Yes, I can. What do you mean, Gurswar? Like, I can fetch the data. I just did like fetch the data, right? But yeah, so are you referring to like the whole thing of like, why am I doing this like conversion of like converting this to open weather data and whatnot? If that's what you're referring to, that is because we want to be API agnostic, which means that no matter the API that we're going to use in the future, we are going to keep our app with the same type, so that if we change our API in the future, I don't want to have to change every single type in the app. I want to change this main type here, and then from this, I want to just make the change in this function here, and then still return weather data, so that the rest of our app can be exactly identical and we don't need to make any changes. So that's kind of my theory with this. Cool. So now that that is done, again, we can revisit these in the future. That's fine. So what I want to then do, this will be for the next stream because we've been going at it for like 2 hours and I'm hungry and I want to eat. So I'm going to end it in like at 8 or whatever time it is for you, in 7 minutes basically. What I want to do in the next stream is, so we got this data from our API. This is like the main kind of data. This is the current temperature, sorry. And then what I want to do is I want to look at the API and get two things: the hourly forecast, which has this kind of response here, which we're going to work with. And then I want to get the daily forecast, which also has this response here, right? These are two different things. So we're going to have to make some changes to our app in the sense that everything was previously fetched here. And actually, we're probably still going to fetch it here. It makes sense for us to fetch kind of everything at the page level and then just pass it through props. So we're going to do that. And then we can uncomment these and they can also get the latest data. Then once we have that, we are kind of complete in the sense that we have a fully working application that is fetching data from an API that is working. So what I'm then going to do is I'm actually going to open source this. So we're going to do that in the stream. We're going to open source the application. and allow you guys to kind of contribute to it. And then we're going to contribute to it, like, you know, as we go along. But yeah, it's going to be fun. You guys will be able to contribute to it, and I'm going to make this a part of kind of my content and whatnot. So I think that's coming after we just finish out the rest of this. But I'm super happy, man. Like, we got it. Every time you refresh the page, you know, you get the weather. It's everything that you see here is coming from the API, which is great. It's all running through, it's being cached essentially by Next.js. It's all running through server-side props. So this is actually server rendered, which is great, which means that if you you can get like SEO and things like that working with this, which is fantastic. And it's all running through our own conversion function, which allows us to change the API in any way that we want and not have to worry about it at all. Guruswar, I mean, like pasting the link in your browser to see the date it gives you. Yeah, I could, but then I would have to also post the API key, which I don't want to do, right? I don't want you guys to see the API key and like spam it. So I'm not going to do that. That's why I'm doing it there. And that's also why in this, where is it? Okay, I can kill this formatting because I don't need that. In this helpers, that's, no, in this where we're actually fetching, we are, you know, I have env here, I have the open weather API key. It's a string. You don't actually get to see what it is, right? That's for my own protection. And then eventually, once we make this open source, we're also going to have to figure out how to maybe fix this so that we either use an API that's open source, that's free, or we figure out like a way to do that. That's going to be interesting because I'm definitely not going to go with this API key once we launch open source. And Guruswar, you missed it. Can I do this? Yes, I can. You missed this. We used like Zod for form validation to kind of get automatic type inference in our environment. So you missed that. So I can show this, but I can't actually go and load and show you the process.env because that's gonna like leak my API key. Man, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but Ngele Dokofala. Which version of Next.js are you using? I'm using the latest version. However, I am using the pages directory just because server components not stable yet in the way that I want, and I want to actually show you pages, show you the old page router, and then have it as a task in the future to actually update that to the new app router and server components incrementally as something that the community can do so that you can learn server components, but you can also learn pages, the old pages directory. Because look, the reality of it is that you can learn all of the latest technologies that you want and be like super happy with that, you know, and like do that and be proud of yourself. But the reality is that like a lot of these companies that you're going to work with, a lot of these projects that you're going to take on, right? They're usually not going to have the latest and greatest technology. It just is what it is, right? And so you can learn server components, you can do all of that, but then if you're thrown into an old page router using Next.js, or even if you're thrown into an old create React app that is still using React router DOM, then all of the effort and everything that you've spent in learning server components goes out the window because you can't use them. And it's unlikely that you're going to be able to change the project and make it use server components or any other latest technology because there's a cost to do that. It takes time, and usually you need to be spending your time building features and not refactoring code, right? So that's why I'm showing you page router. That's why I'm showing you a technology that's been there for a couple of years now, because that's more stable and you have more chances of encountering this in the wild when you actually go work, right? Exactly, yeah. So they did give an update that it's stable. It is stable, but again, to my point, right? Like, it doesn't mean that the project you're going to be working on is going to use it, right? So that's why I'm doing it both ways. We're doing this in pages way with the page router, and then incrementally the community and me alongside, we're going to increment this to app router. And also I wanted to say something. Yeah, so they are stable. The new architecture in terms of how you structure your routes and everything is stable, absolutely. but server actions are not. If you wanted to do a mutation, it's not stable, so that would limit us. And there's also some they're saying it's stable because they want you to use it, right? It's in their interest for you to use it, so they're saying it's stable, but the truth is it's not. Like, there's a couple of things that are missing. Like, I remember as far as like a month ago, you couldn't render out your components in a server component unless you did some like TypeScript hack to basically tell the compiler like, ignore this. And you don't want to have this in your code. Like, that's not what I want to teach you. I want to teach you like the proper way to do this. I want to teach you and get you ready for like actually working as a React developer and being like professional and well equipped for that. I don't want to teach you this mentality that you should jump on a new technology and try to make it work with all of the hacks, because you lose a lot if you're actually building a business on top of the app that you're working on. That's the thing, right? It's cool to like use the latest technology on your projects and whatnot. It's really cool. Actually, let me do something, since I've never actually done this. You can hear me now again. Thank you, guys. Oh no. Oh no. What's the last thing you heard? I switched from my scenes, and I forgot that I didn't have the microphone set up on that scene. So no. Okay, it's fixed now. Thank you, guys. Much respect. Much appreciated. Cool. So yeah, the thing is, oh man, what was I saying? Yeah, essentially, if you're gonna work on a project, right, it's not just you, the dev, it's also the company. And there's a difference between dev and company. Like I said, you can use the latest and greatest in your own project. That's fine, right? Play with it. Go with like the bleeding edge, right? Just have fun with it. But in a actual project where you're gonna join a part of a company, the owner of that company, which is not always gonna be you, right? It's gonna be the owner of the company, the CEO, whatever. They don't care as much as you do about the latest and greatest technology. What they care about is that their business succeeds and that it works, right? And that means using something reliable, using like a tool that like you can depend on, that you can stack your business on and not worry about something breaking because you're using something that a month ago became stable, right? So you have to think about that, and you have to essentially, what I'm trying to do here, to my point, is I'm trying to make you prepare you as a developer, which doesn't always mean using the latest and greatest, but actually preparing you to be a developer that is going to be ready to face the real world. Because the real world is not, as you're going to see, it's not necessarily how you think about it when you're learning React, right? If you have no experience, you don't know what code these companies run. Oftentimes these companies run like ancient code. Yeah, you missed everything I said. My bad. It's fixed now, so there's that. So yeah, these companies are running like ancient code, right? And you have to deal with that, and it's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be like the nicest thing ever, but like you have to deal with it. And that's why we're doing the pages router. That's why we're seeing how this works with something that is more stable than server components, then moving on to server components, so that whatever you get thrown at when you eventually get a project or a job or whatever, you are ready. That's generally my idea with that. So yeah, yes, I agree with you. I was just pointing that out. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I get it. You know, I also want to do the latest and greatest. That's also why I'm kind of playing with this app as well, is that I get to build it how I want. I don't get to depend on anyone else for any code. And it's just a better alternative for me. I get my fix of like playing with the bleeding edge that way, right? So again, there's a difference between working within like a company and working by yourself, and you're gonna learn that as you go along. And actually, I want to make I was talking about this with Bogdan, which says we can sing a song about ancient code, right? Oh yes, man, we can. Ancient code, man, dude. I've seen some code, man. Even worse than that. That one was pretty good. I've seen worse, man. I've actually seen worse, to be very honest. But that one's not better at all. And for context, like Bogdan and I, we used to work at the same company, so that's why we have this in common. But yeah, I was actually talking with Bogdan about this. I want to expand a little bit more my videos into doing more of these. Like my girlfriend said it best, honestly. It's like I'm building a developer, right? I'm not just teaching code. I'm building a developer that's going to then be able to, go and actually be a developer in the real world, right? So that's what I'm building. And I think that, I think content around like, you know, how to find a job, how to find a React job, how to like the differences between a corporate environment, working in a startup, right? All of these things, even this thing about like, the latest and greatest technology, right? I think that falls into that type of content more. So I'm going to do it slowly. The tutorials are not going anywhere. They're still going to be a big staple of what I do. I just want to sprinkle in a little bit more of the derivatives of code, right? So things that, the peripherals, things that are related to code. But the thing is, all code we write is essentially legacy code. Well, yeah, an argument can be made for that. It is legacy code, right? I mean, it's legacy maybe like 24 hours after. I think the first 24 hours you can consider it modern and new code, but after that it's legacy code. I definitely agree with you. Cool. So that was it. There you go. That was the live stream for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, leave a like, subscribe. Really does help me out a lot. Shows me that you enjoy my content and that you want to see more future videos. Thank you to all who participated. Thank you to all who have toughed it out for like an hour, 2 hours now and are still here. Much respect. I'm like sweating. It's dead hot outside. I have like a fan blowing on me, but it's still not doing the job. So yeah, much appreciated. I will see you in like 2 weeks probably. We're going to continue this. As I said, we're going to finish up the rest of this UI. We're going to finish that up, and then we are going to actually push this to GitHub and have you guys start contributing on it to learn and become better developers. Thanks, Bogdan. Thank you, Abel. I know you guys are here. Much respect. I think everyone left actually, but it was a good stream. I think we got like a decent amount of viewers for a decent amount of time, so I'm super happy. And if you're rewatching this at a later time, I hope that you've enjoyed this and I hope that you got some value from it. And just know that I'm also thinking about you when I'm making this. It's not only for the people that are currently live, it's also for the people that watch this later on, just to kind of learn and see how we build this. So yeah, that was it. Thank you guys. Really enjoyed this. And I will see you in the next live stream or in a future video. Ciao, ciao, guys. Cool.